Yo, 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 welcome everybody to TCR Trinity Competitive Racing. I'm C Freeze, alongside Dre Diggy. How are you?
Good, how's it going?
Good, good. And we're here for the Silver Class race at France. Right now, Gold Raiders on pole for now, but still 11 and a half minutes left as everyone comes in. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So we have 18 drivers on the grid, already 2 disqualified, Ben and Samet. I don't know how. But yeah, I have, and this is Dre and my first silver class race. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I think so too. I'm just kind of looking at some of the current point standing right now. After 6 rounds, we got a pretty decently tight race. I will say championship battle between the top 5. They're all within 1 win, 25 points. So we got Land Machine and that Toro Rosso. And then we got Dorian Alpha and Sir Charles, both in the Renaults, and then D Switch also and the Toro Rosso, and then we got P5 for F1 Racer and the Mercedes. So if you look at the championship points right now, we got Toro Rosso followed by Renault and then Haas. But so far it's only a 6 points difference between Toro Rosso and Renault. So those top 4 drivers, I wouldn't be surprised if you see them qualify high and finish pretty well today.
Yeah, and I like to add some as well. If you see the Renaults second and third, they split the Toro Rossos, but the Renaults have no wins. They're just up there because they've been more consistent.
Yeah.
As far as getting a couple podiums. As far as the championship, Lynn is ahead with 80 points. He's got 2 wins, and his teammate, who kind of saw, let's see where his team is. He on the grid today? D Switch. Is D Switch not in here?
I don't see him. I don't think so.
Oh, maybe
I do
he's
see
not here.
Ben swerving in. Maybe he's stepping in for him.
Yeah, no, maybe he's not here. Huh. So yeah, that'll open the gap a little bit more. But you thought in the beginning of the season, D Swish got 2 out of the 3 wins, and now Blinn, who had one last week, who is also out. I don't know why he's out.
Guys are missing out on some points.
No, he's here, but like he's disqualified or something. I don't know. Interesting. 3 people. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's something glitchy or if that's just happened. But yeah, it's a close championship, and I guess this will make things more interesting as both the Renaults have track position over Blinn. But yeah, like I said, he won the Monaco Grand Prix last week, which was a pretty demanding win. But I think he lost out to pole by his teammate by .001. I saw that the other day. I'm like, wow, it was very, very close between the 2. But yeah, he ended up winning last week. So I guess he'll be starting towards the back right now. But still on top is Gold Raider. Actually, the 2 Alphas.
Gold Raider, but the 2 Alphas are doing pretty well right now. It's kind of interesting because Ultimate Gamers, he's on the mediums while Golden Raider is on the softs. So depends on how the strategy is. Still got plenty of time, but we'll see how things turn out. We've got about 7.5 minutes to go.
Yeah. Who do you favor here? It kind of seems like there's a few different strategies out on the board. You have some soft runners, medium, even Sir Charles on the hard. Do you have anyone for favorite on the pole?
I'm not entirely sure. It's I don't know the silver class that well, but I do know Ultimate Gamers. He's a pretty good driver, and he's been pretty consistent so far this season. Haven't got much wins, but I know that he's working on that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ultimate Gamers up there. But
Awesome, yeah.
those Renaults, I know Dorian Alpha is a pretty cool guy, and I raced with him before too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's up there bringing a strong, commanding performance for Renault.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have to agree. Those two are good picks, but I also have to watch out for where'd he go? Sir Charles, I know is pretty quick. Is sitting, I think, P3 in the championship. He's got some good speed, as well as, I don't know, I'm kind of liking this Golden guy. That name is kind of sticking with me. I like that name. As F-Ball goes P3 at the moment. I also look back at last year. Last year was our first season of the Silver Class, and if for those who don't know, Silver Class is our entry-level league and class. It is more of a mixed assists, so people are running a number of different assists. But
Some of
it's
them are
also
driving on steering wheels. What do you think about that?
yeah, steering wheel, controller. We have people who've never done league racing before, and we have people who are experienced, and we also have people in here trying to take the assists off and eventually get to golden. So silver's the best way to do it, and you know you have a good grade 18 drivers here today who were doing that. But yeah, I kind of like that.
If you were to drive a steering wheel, what type would you drive?
Oh, I see the segue you were going for. Well, personally, I would go with the Fanatec, and if you all didn't know, if you guys are getting the Fanatec, please, if you could, it'd be very appreciated. We have an affiliation link with them. Some of the money would come back to help support the league for the cost that we do have here. But yeah, the Fanatechs, you really can't go wrong unless you're Kersey and my teammate. He probably wouldn't recommend it. But
It's okay.
yeah, I think nine times out of 10, I think that suffice. You know, that's pretty good. And then also, yeah. So back in last season, the only other French Grand Prix we had was last season. And I look back, it was Bam Bam who got the win. He was runner-up in the silver class, and now he is in golden class. So if you guys want to support him and see him along with Dre Diggy tomorrow, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, it will be also the French Grand Prix for the golden class. That's tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. As we're 4 minutes in qualifying. Golden Ray is still on pole with a 31.2. I don't know if that's going to change. He seems like he's got the edge over some of these guys. Although, like I said before, the difference in strategy could be the talks with Nelsie on the mediums. A lot of soft runners, but a lot of strategies you could do.
Even though this is a pretty flat track, you do a lot of high-speed turns, which put a lot of wear on your tires. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys qualify on the best tire, which is the softs, and then they do maybe 7 to 8 lap stint on their tires on the race, and then immediately go on to those mediums or hards, just so they can survive.
Yeah, actually, I think if you look back at last year's races for all the classes, I think medium hard was the way to go. The softs, I feel like they die off a little too quickly.
Yeah.
Especially, and like you said, the high speed in the third sector, especially the tire temps. If you don't watch after your tires, they could really go up in temperature, and then you lose all grip. So you gotta watch out for that pretty early on the soft tire for those soft runners now. But if you're on the medium, I think you could make it pretty comfortably. And right now, Nelsie sitting P3 is looking quite nice, in my opinion.
So Golden Raider so far has set the early lap, fastest lap early on. Let's see what it can do. We got less than a little under 2.5 minutes. I know a lot of drivers are about to start coming out now, doing their out lap for their final qualifying lap right now.
Dorian on an out lap, he's P13. He looks to improve, hopefully. Let's see.
I am following along with P-Dog Peyton. He's going to start his qualifying lap here in a little bit on the back stretch. He's going to try to knock off Gold Raider. He's only 2/10 off, but he's still got plenty of time. Oh, Ultimate Gamers.
Oh, nice.
be there side by side with his teammates so far.
Yeah,
It's about a 10th off.
you said he was gonna be good, and hey, your predictions might come true. The alphas. I know last year you were the alpha team. Now you parted ways, but
No, it's okay. Alpha was good to me. Alpha was always good to me. Managed to finish P5 in points last year in the golden class. So Alpha's been
Romeo.
pretty good the last few seasons, but decided to go to McLaren, see what they were offering.
Yeah. Well, you look good in both. I don't know if someone's told you, but
Thank you.
but P-Dog is starting his lap. And I did look before this. I try to be prepared, knowing the corner names and all. And then I looked at the names, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way I could pronounce all that. So, to all of my Quebecois and French-speaking natives, or however you say it, I'm sorry, but I could not say the corner names. So maybe we'll have to get you guys in, maybe tomorrow or for Platinum, to say the names of the corners, because I would have been lost. I would have butchered every name. But P-Dog into the chicane. I could say the chicane.
We've only been on the track for like maybe 2, maybe 3 years now. We've been back in France, so
yeah,
it's been a while.
It's
I remember
new
we were
track.
at Magny Corps.
Yeah,
That's old time there.
yeah. I think this was debuted in 2018, if I'm correct, which was last game.
Yes.
Which it feels like it's been on for longer than that. It feels like actually, you know, a new track like Baku has been on the calendar since 2016. Feels like that's been around forever. I feel like they just introduced it though. There's P-Dog to the line. He goes pole.
P-Dog.
30.8.
Wow. First one into the 30s.
Oh, and the other Mercedes. Oh, he said get off. That's mine. F1 racer at 30.791. And it's looking like a Mercedes Alpha Haas and the McLarens. It's looking pretty organized, and I kind of like that. With a little bit OCD. You kind of get that all nice and even. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's good that the teams are doing a strong performance, especially for Alpha and even McLaren in 6 and 7 there.
Yeah,
we got
respectively.
Haas splitting them up, but I think it's a pretty good start.
And also from last year, I looked at the pole lap was set by Enyas, I think in the Renault as well, with the 130.703. So that did not get beaten today, but the all-time record, I think, let me see, the all-time record is a 129.151, and that was set back on last game on F1 2018 by Sean, season 5's Platinum Class Champion. So we're a little bit of ways. It's kind of interesting. The 2019 cars are a little bit slower than the 18. As 20 to get into the 29s, this track would be crazy with these cars. But just 1 year ago, we were doing it in the old ones, so just shows the difference in the cars there.
Right. So it looks like qualifying's pretty much wrapped up here. What are your predictions so far? Because we got it looks like it's going to be a team battle here. But some of the top drivers, either they're not here or they're in the back of the pack. So it's kind of open the air for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the standings, you got to watch out for Blinn in P17 and that Toros. You know how that Toros is. There's only
maybe that's
is there only
strategy.
one? Is there only one? I think there's only one Toros on the grid, and it's kind of sad, but I'll be watching out for Blinn. He is the championship leader. He's going to have the surge from the back. He's probably starting on a harder tire, so we'll see how that goes. But if you got the Alphas at the front, I'm going to go for the Mercedes of F1 and P-Dog, as they haven't had a... I don't know if they've been good as of late, but here's a good opportunity for them. You have the Mercedes 1-2, Alphas 3-4. You got Nelson. He's got a good strategy though, so Nelson could get a podium with that good strategy on the medium. Got the McLaren 6-7, KGB in 8th, Log in 9th, Death Wish rounds off the top 10, and here is 11th on back. You got Sir Charles, Dolphin, Turkey, I think is debut for today. Dorian Robin Samet is probably also debut, I don't know. And Blinn and Ben is running off the back. And Robin has also a grid penalty there, so he'll be starting last. The others will move up a position. So I like the Mercedes. I also like Blinn and that Toro Rosso. Who do you got for today?
I think the Renaults can come back up and spoil the fun for everybody.
Yeah, all right, you go with the Alpha. Wait, would you say Alpha? You said?
Renaults.
Oh,
but,
the Renaults.
my backup,
okay.
My backup. Yeah. It's because they've been a little bit more consistent, but my backup is going to be the Alpha team.
Oh, okay. I like that. All right. For everyone watching here on YouTube and or Facebook, please first comment now what your predictions are for the race. Who do you think's coming P1, P2, P3 on that podium? Any surprises? Let us know now, because otherwise it doesn't count. So we can't. You gotta put a comment now, otherwise it doesn't count. So if you're watching, even if you're not familiar with the drivers, put out a pretty crazy prediction, because otherwise, like I said, you don't get credit for it. And then also, if you're while you're doing the comment, if you can give us a like in the meantime, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if you do like the content on the channel, consider subscribing, as we do this 3 times in the week.
Gold Raiders left the session.
Uh-oh. Let me see. I don't know, something's going on. Hopefully things are right. Hopefully he could get back in. Let me see.
I think we're starting to get drivers now making their final adjustments and getting ready to get set up here. I think we got 27 laps here. And so it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be packed full of action. But it's going to be exciting.
1, 2, 3. I think we... Oh, all right. He joined back. That's good. Let's see if he gets in his car, though. I don't know. I don't see him. Makes me nervous.
And here we are on the formation lap.
See him. No, he's not in here.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Out of any time you disconnect, that is the worst time, because there's nothing you can do, you know.
If it was at a race, he can technically get back in if his car hasn't like crashed out and it was ghosted, but I don't think the car even ready up for him.
Yeah, but it still says we have 18, unless I'm... Oh, they missed out. Look at that. 2-4. They missed the 3. Maybe he might get back in when they reset. I don't know.
I see.
We might not know yet, but let me get myself set up here. Because otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing. A gap, interval, disabled. Alright. If anybody wants me to have a different thing on the board, let me know, and I could always look at a different thing for those wondering something. But also, if anyone is interested in joining either racing, commentary, or anything like that, our website's down below. All our information is on it for all the classes, TrinityCompetitiveRacing.com, and everything is up there, and you can sign up right there. Also, right below that is the official affiliation link for the Fanatec, and Twitter and Instagram as well, and I suppose Facebook now is that's being a thing.
Oh yeah, I got it up on mine, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll be all good. So we do have 17 drivers for today as Gold Raider. I feel so bad for him, but that's the worst time to disconnect. But the show must go on, and that's ultimate. He's gonna have to, take one for the team and get a good result for Alpha. But as we line up, I'm really interested in that Haas of Nelsie now with the medium. I really think he's got a good shot at it. Like I said, Blinn. You have some people out of position. Also, the Renaults didn't get the best qualifying at their home track as well. But I'll keep my focus and attention towards the front of the grid. Maybe you get the back half, and
sure.
Hopefully everything goes well. And Bam Bam says, good luck, keep it clean. So you heard the guy. You might as well do it, guys. Alright. Is everyone lined up? Yep, the final person's lined up. We have 17 drivers today for TCR's Trinity Competitive Racing Silver Class race. We're here at France for the French Grand Prix, round number 7. And F1 racers aboard. Here we go. Looks pretty even between the Mercedes, 4 wide. The Red Bull goes off the track a little bit. And it looks like F1 Racer will take the lead, but P-Dog takes it back, but he goes wide. He goes off.
KG Black, and the Racing Point does a spin.
Yep.
He's down 9 spots. Unfortunate start for him. Oh,
a
and we
little
got
contact. And Turkey, 3 wide here, but the Williams, the Racing Point, the Renault, going deep. Just trying to see what's going on here.
I see a little wing damage for some of these back markers, but we got another car. They're going off track, but they're back on it. Here comes Ben swerving.
Oh yeah,
Machine in 1 lap, half a lap, pick up 7 positions. He just knock him off left and right. He's already in the top 10.
Oh yeah, in 9th, and he's on the medium as well, the better tire. But let's see if we go back here. The Williams are fighting back here. Robin and Dolphin, as P-Dog does take the lead. As Dolphin loses a bunch of spots right there. The Mercedes 1-2. Nelsie picks up a few positions up to 3rd. Ultimate loses 1. He's to 4th. You got the McLaren in 5th. And we have a caution here. Let's see. I think that's Fire Up.
Fire Up loses the back end.
You got the
that's
2
Dolphin Chaser.
And you got the 2 Williams at the back. Have we not seen that before? Sorry.
Both going to pits.
Oh, and a speeding as well for Fire Up. As we go back to the front, the Haas got past F1 Racer, but let's see if he could come back. Maybe DRS is not enabled yet. There's a few laps until we get that in action.
Dorian Alpha passes by Ben Swerven, who moves up to P11. Got a pretty interesting battle back here for P13. He makes a dive. Turkey does, and he loses the back end against KGB Black Angel. Not a great move by him, but he lost a lot of time, and so he's trying to catch back up. Kind of got a little train going on here for P5th.
And not too far behind is Log and the leader here, and Blinn, the championship leader. Getting close to Log in a few corners. So you have another caution. I think that's Fire Up and Dolphin back there. So they're gonna have some troubles. But yeah, you got McLaren F-Ball. You got Sir Charles, Death Wish.
Turkey Wrecker is still fight with KGB Black. They pass each other again. This is battle in the back of the pack here.
So, Nelsie goes quickest on the mediums. He's P2 right now, half a second behind. So, yeah, KGB also comes back in the pits. How do I do this? There we go.
Got a nice train going here for P5 with F-Ball. Sir Charles. Sir Charles is right on the back of that McLaren. I think he will now get DRS this time, and let's see if he can get past the McLaren who's on the soft, while this Renault is on the mediums.
Yep. He has the DRS active. He's closing on the McLaren. He's closing. He defends. He goes around the outside. Let's see it. And he makes the move stick. Move. Yeah, look at that. So Sir Charles
see if
up.
He gets the undercut, though. Maybe he get the undercut. Here comes the McLaren. He's going to take a look, and still side by side. This fast, you could carry this speed all the way around.
They're all out.
They touch, just a little tap from the both of them.
All 3. The
The
Haas, the
power,
McLaren, and the Renault, he's still in the back trying to. He's got no wing. Oh man.
the McLaren does no wing. So is Darren Alpha.
Oh man,
Darren Alpha.
all that happened. P Dog lost the lead. Man, I'm sorry I missed that. I'm sorry. I feel bad for the people watching. I missed it, but man, we have a safety car too. Oh man, look at
Safety
this.
car. And Dorian's the first one into the pit, along with Death Wish, Fireball, Turkey. Everyone past
Oh, man.
P8 is into the pits now.
I believe.
They're going to try to jump on those hards as soon as they can.
Yeah, Robin's in. Yeah, if you put the hards on now, you have maybe a shot to come to the end. I don't know. Maybe you do some tire management.
Well, the hard tires will last you about 20, 25 laps, depending on the track. But I think if they time it right, maybe they can do something.
Well, then also the safety car doesn't get going right away as well. So I think you could do it. Yeah, because by the time they get going, it'll probably be around lap 7. So then you're talking around 20 laps then. So. I think it's doable. But the top, like you said, the top half of the grid hasn't been able to come into the pits yet, as they were past the pit lane at that point. So I think you might have Nelsie. He might stay out for a little bit, but then this actually falls in the hands of the Mercedes and those soft runners.
Yeah, so for F1 Racer, Pete Dog, and Ultimate Gamers, they are on the softs, and they're surrounded by everyone else with the mediums or hards. But it all depends how they take care of his tires. But I'm more concerned about F1 Racer because he has a delicate situation. Do you come in the pits now and put the hards on, and maybe he has a shot to the end, or he can go a few more laps, maybe extend it, and then dive in under green. But I feel like that's a huge risk.
Yeah. I think they'll come in now. They might lose a couple positions because the guys behind already pitted.
What are you doing?
Oh, where'd you go?
F1 Racer almost lost it trying to go around. I was like, what are you doing?
My heartbeat went up a little bit then. Although, also the P Dog's gonna have to wait because they're gonna double stack here. So watch the double stack.
Yes.
As he's going to lose a little bit more time.
Yeah, I think right now, it's okay as long as he knows he has the speed and can get around those drivers. But also, too, just now, Dorian Alpha is just now coming on the front straightaway and passing some of these guys. So he still might be able to save a little face compared to, P10 and P11.
Yeah, F1 gets out in 5th. Who's the other one? P-Dog all the way down. He's still coming out. I think
coming out in 10th.
P10th, yeah. So he lost a little bit then, yeah. Let's look at who stopped and who didn't. There we go. So the top 3 did not pit. So that includes Nelsie, Blinn, and Ben. Blinn started almost 16th or 15th, something like that. He's all the way up to 2nd. But then again, he's got to pit again. Therefore, the others behind don't. Like F1 Racer and P-Dog and them. So, let's see here. I don't know. I kind of like the F1 Racer. Now he's in position, I feel like. Although he put the mediums on as well. So maybe he's doing 2-stop, potentially. As his teammate did the hard, so I don't know. It's really anybody's game right now. We're very early into it.
Unfortunately, I just looked at our Discord log, was not very happy about what happened that took place there, so hopes he's alright. He's just a little upset and venting a little bit, but I think he'll be alright.
Oh, yeah. Heat of the moment gets to you sometimes. So, for everyone watching, for those who did not listen to me the first time and put their predictions down below, now you have a good opportunity because it's neutralized. So the game has changed, like they say. So you have a second opportunity to put down some predictions because it's really anyone's game right now. I think it's a pretty big toss-up as you could really go with anybody.
I got the chat open for YouTube and Facebook. And in the Discord, so whatever you guys think, let us know.
Actually,
I did say that the Renaults might come back here, but we'll see. It's kind of interesting that the Alphas and the Mercedes. They're still in the game, but next you see what's up there. It's the Renaults, it's the Haas, and it's the Toro Rossos. The top teams are currently in points. There's only been 7 laps on a safety car, so.
Yep. It should be coming in this lap towards the end of it. It's a pretty long lap. They're going pretty slow. But OEM said that his predictions, this was I think before we started, was P-Dog, F1 Racer, and Nelsie. And I think that's could still be the case.
We'll see what happens.
Man, biggest loser though, Sir Charles. I know he had that wreck, but then again, you could say that he was able to go in because of the wreck. All 3 people who were involved, which was it was Deathwish, F-Ball, and Sir Charles, when they had their incident that brought out the safety car, they're still all in the race. So they all got fresh tires, fresh wings, as safety car is in this lap. So he's starting from the back, but it could have been a lot worse if that safety car didn't come out. So
what do you feel about the Codes Masters update with the more safety cars? Are you for it, against it? I've been hearing both sides.
I do agree with it. I think if you look at our golden class a couple weeks ago, in the number of races, I know you can say that you've had a lot of safety cars, maybe a little bit too much.
Yes.
But I do like one here or there. But then again, you could look at Platinum, and Platinum class has not had a lot. We had maybe 1 full safety car, and we did 6 races. So it really depends on the grid and how many incidents are involved, and things like that. But I think it definitely Monaco, adds it though.
There wasn't a safety car until the last 5 laps.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, we did have one, and I think multiple classes.
You could tell that the different types of class and the caliber of drivers. So that all matters. And we're back to green. Safety car is gone. We're back to green flag.
Man, what a gap between Ben and Blinn. There's the Renault goes down the inside. Is there contact? Maybe a little bit.
Oh, side by side. Oh,
F1 Racer though
ahead.
Is gonna take advantage.
Ben swerving's losing spots left and right.
Yeah, remember he did not pit yet. He's still on those mediums. As the Mercedes is rounding up the Renault here, he's making a move on the backstretch. He's trying to gain some positions. He might do it right now. The traction on the Mercedes is really nice. He gets pushed off a little bit.
Track.
Oh man!
Yeah, here comes the Alpha on the inside. Ultimate Gamers makes a move side by side. They're getting on both of these drivers. Ultimate Gamers deep dive. He's going to take a look on the inside of Alpha Dorn.
Oh man,
he
a little contact.
He hits him off a little bit.
He had his elbows out. Going. A little bit more than the elbows, I think.
And here
the Red Bull, yeah.
Ben swerving, looking on the Renault. Not quite there.
Man, he takes
the corner a little bit. Oh, here comes that. Here comes Deathless on the outside.
Yeah. Oh, but the Red Bull comes across. There's a little contact, yeah. Man, the Haas is dropping positions left and right. Now he's got the McLaren to deal with.
Gotta shut that door. Get yourself back together.
Yeah, you gotta get in a rhythm here. Everyone's right on top of each other, making positions, making moves.
Dorian Alpha is the only one that's on hards in the top. I mean, he's struggling right now, but if he could just maintain without burning those hards too much, he can still maintain with these guys.
So, Ferrari lost the position there. F-Ball might go for a move. No. Nope, he thinks better of it. We have Deathwish P5 here. Ben, Dorian. Goes around the outside.
Deathwish got a fast car there.
Oh, who's that?
Turkey made a deep dive and lost the back end of that Ferrari. Oh, no, we got a safe caution, yellow,
yeah.
No safety car.
Yeah, no, we're good yet. VSC though, well, that'll neutralize it for a little bit. That might actually be a good thing.
I calm everybody down a little bit here.
Yeah.
P-Dog Payton, 5-second time bill for cutting the corner and gaining 2 positions.
Oh man. So this will neutralize the field. I don't think anyone will gain or lose from this. It should get back green before we get to the pits. But F1 Racer got some positions there, but he's also on the mediums. I don't know. It's he probably has to pit again. Blinn is coming in 7/10 to Nelsie. Nelsie's having a nice race. So it's
Blinn, you started in the back of the pack, is running P2 right now. How about that?
I like that. He looks good in the blue as well. DRS is now enabled. We got the Mercedes of F1 Racer and P3 at the moment. Ultimate looking strong.
Death Wish just looking on. Ben Swerve, he takes a peek. Not quite there. Compromises his line, and now P-Dog is looking. Got a little train going on here, led by the Renault Dorian Alpha. Ben swerving, 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, Ben's all over the track.
Oh,
it's a tight section here.
It
is. Good exit.
Got drivers stacking on top of each other. Now they're in the DRS zone. Got P-Dog. Got KGB.
Oh,
looking on.
He tried to go through him. Oh, and the Red Bull.
So 3 wide. No,
this ain't gonna work. Oh, the switch.
The undercut.
Oh, he's gonna get Dorian. Look at this too.
3 wide.
Oh man, we saw how this ended up last time, and it didn't work again. It didn't work again. These.
Oh. P-Dog tried to avoid it. And
who was that in the wall? P-Dog's out.
He undercut them, and it went wide, and he lost it back in. That's unfortunate.
P-Dog is out. I got a beautiful camera angle on that one. We have a VSC. If this is a VSC now, this should have been a safety car. That impact on that Mercedes, man, did he go out.
You can't go 3 wide there.
No, definitely not. Somebody's got to lift through there. But
Death Wish into the pits. He has damage from that contact. So is KGB Black, Dorian Alpha, and Sammy.
I mean, we saw earlier what happened with the 3 of them trying to go 3 wide. We're back green now. They tried again,
really hard,
and it didn't work out.
It's a double stack for the Racing Point team. P-Dog Payne, unfortunately, now the driver out. And we're back to green.
F1 Racer's looking pretty close to Blinn here. It's in the DRS. The top 3 are now within DRS, so the top leaders actually kind of broke away. You do have Ultimate still, but then there's a huge 15-second gap from Ultimate to Fire Up, so that might play into the hands of the top runners, especially the top 4, because I don't think a few of them pitted, and F1 might have to pit again, so this will
they essentially
help.
got a whole pit stop, or really a safety car under their belt, so if they do need to use that, they can come in, if they can, depending on how long the tires can last, but they might have to come to pit here in the next 5 laps.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. As especially for Nelsie and Blinn, they're 9 laps on their tires, so a little bit longer. But F1 Racers and Ultimate's a little bit younger, so they might have the upper advantage at the moment. But that kind of spread things out. But that might be a good thing to catch our breath a little bit. But the top 3 is still within DRS of all each other.
I'm watching right along with F1 Racer, who's in P3. He's making small gains, but they're all kind of running similar lap times, so it's not major gains on each of them. Nelsie Baby is very strong on the straightaway. That's why Blinn Machine is not able to make significant gains in the DRS. He's making some, but not significant, because I think his car was made for on the corners instead of on the straightaways.
And F1 closes up right in the chicane, but then at this section here, there's no DRS, it's just pure slipstream. Now he's around 3/10, and he'll close and close and close, but it'll be kind of hard to make a move
carry this
just yet.
corner here full throttle. Sometimes you can lose the back end there a little bit. As Fire Up Flow gets past Ben Swerve for P5 and that McLaren. But then Swerven's fighting back just a little bit.
Yeah, right here is where you saw that wreck, and I think Peyton, if that's him in his account, his fire up goes a little wide. He said in the chat, "Stupid." So, oh, he said he got 2 pounds if you're doing nothing wrong. We're also, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really worry about the penalties. There's more the wreck of I don't know what happened, but the three of yous was a crazy incident.
Oh yeah, we're barely halfway, and we got a lot of action so far. 2 virtual safety cars and 1 safety car. So far we're kind of spread out now, so I think it's kind of settled down just a little bit.
Yep. Also, it looks a little. Nah, I don't want to say, but every commentary says, "Oh, it looks a little cloudy," But I'll say it though. It looks a little cloudy,
It does look cloudy.
It might rain.
My experience driving it here in France is like it's always I would say a 50% towing cost between whether it's going to rain or not, but it's always it's been one of those tracks that tends to rain a lot.
Yep. All the commentaries, especially on Real F1, on the commentaries, they say, oh, rain expected in 10 minutes, and, the race is, like, barely, it rains after the race, But, KGB moves up over Robin for P8.
And these top 3 leaders, they're still pretty tight on each other. Oh, as Nielsen Baby goes into pits.
Yep,
so we do have our first lead change. It would be Blend Machine, but he has F1 races right on his gearbox.
Yeah, I think next lap you'll see Blend come in. Now we know they last around 12 or so laps, the mediums. That means F1 Racer must pit again because there's no way he's going to bring those mediums all the way back. And effectively, that still puts Nelsie, I would say, net P1, as I would say Ultimate also has to come into the pits.
So F1 Racer can maybe go 5 more laps, and then he could just go straight on the softs. You don't have to worry about the hards.
True, you're right on that one. And he'll have the better grip towards the end, so yeah, that's a good point to put out. And Blinn as well, he's going to have to put on the hard. Or because if you put the softs on now, I don't think they'll last yet.
The soft could go maybe 8 or 9 laps on a good set. I mean, you're going to have to really stretch him to go 10. And here he comes. He's going to look on the outside for P1. Let's see, side by side. They keep it together.
Ooh, a little bit of a touch. A little bit, but they get through it, which is a good thing. We didn't want another wreck through that corner. That is a dangerous corner if you think about it.
Especially on worn tires. You go these high-speed corners and just lose back then, you try to correct it, and you tap another driver. And I think that's what caused the wreck, that first safety car what we had most recently with those 3 drivers.
And Blinn goes another lap. He did not pit. He might be stretching the mediums a little bit, as F1 Racer actually gets a fast lap of 35.4. But Blinn tries to come back around the outside. Let's see.
Oh,
gives the room. Oh, and he gets it,
a
yeah.
little bit, but he gets it. Looking at the chat, looks like P-Dog Peyton is a little upset. He says that's been because I took a corner that you can barely get 2 cars with 3, and he says pretty unbelievable what just happened.
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell he's frustrated, but you know, unfortunately these things happen.
Yeah, although one thing I will say is, all 3 drivers did have an opportunity to back out of that one, so... and I guess they all didn't. And that's, I guess, racing at the end of the day. Sometimes some people will have to lift because otherwise it'll end up in a wreck like that. And we've seen that multiple times. It's tempting to go for a move like that, but sometimes it could end badly, and sometimes it could end really badly. And we've seen both of them today, so it's unfortunate, but I guess those things happen. But Blinn gets the lead back again. I don't know how much longer he'll go. Maybe he will stretch it a few more laps and maybe put the softs on. But then F1 and Racer and Ultimate could do the same thing. So
Oh, Glenn's going in right
Oh, is
now.
he? All right. Let's see. Oh, and he gets the speeding in the pits.
Oh, it doesn't
And
help him.
I,
Ultimate Gamers is on the same strategy as F1 Racer. Let's see what he does.
yeah, Ultimate and F1, they'll probably go, like you said, another 3, 4, 5 laps. Use the rest of their tires up, and they'll probably put the softs on. So F1 Racer will probably be really quick towards the end. He'll probably have to overtake Nelsie. Speaking of overtakes, KGB
Well,
trying to
there's a
overtake the
huge gap
McLaren.
between 4th and 5th, so
Oh, nice
if they
switchback.
don't be able to come back up as much, they still have a pretty significant gap.
Yep, as Blinn, he came out in 4th there, so it's a huge gap behind even still. So the top 4 drivers should be able to maintain. Granted, everything stays the same. Robin's in the pits.
Yeah, fire up flow. 13 lap tires, trying to look at KGB Angel, Black Angel. They've been kind of battling each other most of the race, side by side. Losing a lot of time on him.
Yeah, he just got past him the previous lap, so and he put a pretty good gap as well. He's got younger tires, is the racing point. Looks to settle out. This is the point in the Grand Prix where we can get some plugs in. So tomorrow, if anyone's tuning in, please tune in at 8:15 p.m. Eastern for the Golden Class race here at France. And then Thursday is also the French Grand Prix for the Platinum Class. So please tune in as well, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. That'll be this week. Next week is Austria. That's where these guys will be in 1 week's time as Nelsie gets a fast lap.
Anything special about Austria next week?
So yeah, it's probably a good time to talk about that as well. So for a silver and golden class, it's the same format, regular format, short qualify 50%. But for the platinum class, it's TCR's second, I guess you can say, seasonal TCR Grand Prix for the platinum class at Austria this year. Last year was at Monaco, and it's a similar format as well. It's a different qualifying format. You can look at last year's Monaco Grand Prix and the format as well. It's similar to that. So basically, the platinum drivers will have 3 rounds of qualifying, one-shot qualifying, followed by a 5-lap heat race. And that heat race is where you qualify. That's where you get determined and drivers get eliminated. There's some extra points up for grabs for winning and pole position, fastest lap, things like that. That'll all be released probably early next week once we go and head into the race weekend. But and then this year as well, regular format for points. But it'll be interesting because we should have a full grid for the platinum race that week, and it'll shake things up as well due to the different in qualifying, as well as also Austria is pretty close normally. I think last year, if you look from 1st to 18th or whatever we had in qualifying was within a second, and at Austria, it's really tight. So this qualifying format will be it'll be a nice show to watch for next week's platinum race. So more information will be released, but yeah, that's all next week. So it's a pretty big week. But yeah, like I said, silver and golden will be the regular races, nothing different for them. But next week is the TCR Grand Prix for the platinum class.
That'd be kind of interesting to see the knockout qualifying again. That'd be kind of nice, like the actual real Formula One. And so I remember last year was actually pretty interesting to watch. So it's interesting to see what happens again this year.
Yeah, it's a unique thing that I think F2 does a similar thing like that. I'm not 100% sure the format, but basically, you race to qualify, and that kind of determines your position as well. So, it's a good way to shake things up, and yeah, should be interesting as well to watch for the viewer and for the drivers to re-watch it back as well. Because last year it was pretty fun for most. But then again, at Monaco, you really can't overtake as much. So at Austria, this seems like the perfect fit this season. So we'll see how it works. But yeah, that's all next week. So we don't have to wait too much longer, and it's not getting postponed and it's not getting canceled. So that'll all be next week.
No Corona here.
No, we are free to go.
As Ultimate Gamers on the same strategy as F1 Racer comes into pits, and guess what tires he put on?
And the soft tires that he gets, and he also he barely gets in front of the Racing Point, who just set the fastest lap, I believe.
So I would not be surprised if F1 Racer comes into pit this time.
I mean, he's got the cold tires as the Alpha. KGB is actually doing real nice on these hards. He just set the fastest lap. He's gaining positions over the McLaren, and he's got the Ultimate in front of him, but he's also on the hards. But he might have an opportunity here with DRS if he looks for it. He's gonna wait. I think that's the smart thing to do. The sauce will kick in towards the end of the lap here.
Fun Racer stays out. He's going another lap.
One more.
He's losing time. You've already lost a second to Nelson Baby. But if he comes out on the softs compared to the meat, he'll probably gain that time back. Just how long will it take him? But if we come to pit now, he will essentially have 7 laps to go, and we got a spinner somewhere. A yellow flag somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's all clear now. Also, you can't really wait too long if you're F1 Racer as well, because Ultimate just came out on the softs. He was only a few seconds behind F1 Racer when he pitted, so he could get a huge undercut, and then F1 Racer will have to overtake 3 cars for the win. But I think he can maybe get away with this lap. If he comes in this lap, I think he'll be fine. But you don't want to wait too long, because then you're losing out because you're on the medium tire. So I think this time by, will be the best opportunity for him.
During Alpha speeding the penalty, he decided to retire.
Oh man, rough day in the office.
Good day for Renault. Unfortunately, that was my team to pick. But we got Bam Bam into the chat saying he loved the racecraft on the Haas boys. See what happens.
Yeah, they've had a nice day. Deathwish as well earlier. I mean, he was involved in that 3-car maneuver. He's gonna overtake McLaren here with the fire up, and that's a pretty easy move.
Yeah, F1 Racer, another lap out.
Wow.
Lost about another second. Oh.
Whoa,
Sammy.
whoa, where?
E9 spins out. I just turned onto him, and that's when he spun.
Oh, you know what happened there? He probably got on the curb and
yeah, he got on the curb.
Right there. Yeah,
the throttle too hard.
Oh, and there you see him. He's out. That happened to me plenty of times.
He's in the Discord, pretty upset about that, unfortunately.
I believe it's his first race, though. I'm not too sure. It might have been his debut. I'm not 100% sure on that. Man, they're dropping now.
Down to 12 cars. 7 laps to go.
And I'm really looking forward to F1 coming in. Or maybe he's not planning to come in, because you know what?
7 laps, that will put about, 22 laps on his tires. On those mediums. I'm not sure he could do it, especially this high degradation track.
You know, I actually could, because this is something I would do. I would say, this is exactly what I would do. I'd stay out F1 Racer. You have 15 seconds to play. You could back off a little bit. You have 7 laps to maintain that gap. And if you lose even 2 seconds
a lap...
runs
wide?
Never mind.
He's in.
Forget what I'm saying. But he gets the speeding. Oh, no. Oh, man. Him as well as Blinn.
He also got 50 seconds to play with. So if he comes out and he's actually, smashing it, he can catch that back up pretty quickly. And I think he's going to serve it in his pits. No, okay. He's back out.
Nelsie's coming by. He'll get past, but will he come P2? That's the question. F1 Racer's coming out. Blinn right around the last corner. He's accelerating. And F1 Racer gets ahead.
Side by side.
Oh!
Side by Sabrelli. This loses out.
He gets ahead of Ultimate, but the switch back on Blinn on those soft tires, I feel like he's going to take advantage here.
So he has 7 seconds to catch back up. Let's see, can he do it?
But then he's also got the speeding as well, but I don't know if Nelsie's got penalties. I know Blinn's got a speeding. I know F1's got a speeding. I don't know if any corner cuts or penalties for Nelsie or any others, but let's see the speed of F1. He's kind of weighted. If he didn't get that penalty, I would have said he's kind of the favorite, but
yeah,
I think I got to go with the Haas, with Nelsie.
He just set the fastest sector right there.
Yeah.
That's just the outlap. He's using a lot of his DRS already.
Although,
he's
regardless,
down to 7 seconds.
If F1 Racer pops up and gets on the back of Nelsie, tries to go for an overtake, does Nelsie know he has a penalty? I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's clean. Maybe he'll defend, so much. You never know if them two get into an incident. Blinn is the next guy to pick up the scraps. So
he just picked up 1 second in the last sector there.
Yeah, he's looking quick. Fast sector 3 as well. Let's go on board for a lap here with F1 because I'm pretty sure he'll do a fast lap at the end of it. Going through here. This is the tightest section. You really have a very tight sequence. You have to get perfect. This leads all the way down the back stretch, leading into the chicane. Kind of have to get this perfect. Beautiful. Right with the traction, and right here, full throttle, slight left, and if you turn it up and you just sail down the straightaway, that whole section is all that speed.
5 seconds. It's 5 seconds now.
Into the chicane, brake as hard as you can. You want to get that turn right on back on the traction as another big long straightaway. That'll carry speed all the way through, flat through this turn right. He doesn't have much battery left, but he would use it if he has them. Right through the swooping corner. And this is where the tire temps start to come into play. You're using a lot of it right here. A lot of load on the corner, on the tires rather, and you just want to clean end to the lap.
Hold it tight on this corner. Don't hit the curb. You lose time on the curb. Just a little bit. He's now 3.7 seconds off the leader.
Wow.
That's the fastest lap.
33.3. That's a nice lap there from F1 Racer as he's closing in pretty much. If he could close in, if he does that same lap, he's within a second. He gained so much time on that one lap. He might be able to pass Nelsie and even gain 5 seconds.
When he came out of pits just a lap and a half ago, he was only 7 seconds off. And trying to get around another driver, so if he can maintain this speed and save some of his DRS when he needs it, ERS, he'd be great.
Just gonna look at the penalties real quick. Nelsie, he does have a penalty, a 3-second, I believe, and F1's got the 5-second. So I feel like if he gets past, he just needs a 2-second gap. According to my calculation, you know what I mean. I don't know what the game will say or everything.
You just said another fast sector, 2.6 seconds off the leader, with only 4 laps to go.
I don't know who you got. 50-50 shot right here. You got Nelsie or you got F1?
I still think that F1 Racer will get past him. I don't know if his tires will fall off in time to build up a 5-second, 3 to 4 second lead to make sure he gets ahead of that time penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with F1 Racer. I'm going to go with the underdog here. I feel like he could pass him within this lap, maybe towards the back stretch if he can gain
Two
a little through
seconds.
this corner. He gets a couple more tenths. He's within DRS range. He sees them.
So,
That's also another
oh yeah,
huge thing. He sees the Haas right in front of
that
him. He's
gives.
pushing more and more now. He knows it's a possibility that he could get, I believe, his second win of the season.
He smells blood in the water.
Right through here, he's got
pushing
all
hard.
that traction with the new tires. He's going to gain all the way down the stretch. He'll probably get within DRS for next lap. And then if he passes him on lap 25, he'll have about
But
2 or
Nelsie
so
got
laps
some-
to get the
Nelson
gap.
just got some DRS due to that lap car, so he's able to build just a little bit of a gap. But Nelsie Baby is using a lot of his ERS as well.
Yeah, they're both pretty low. But Nelson's got a little bit more.
.2 seconds. If he could get within DRS by the front straightaway, I think he has a decent shot by the end of the straightaway.
1.1 at the moment. He goes a little wide. He comes back in. Well, the detection, no, he won't have it for this one, but
3 laps to go.
yeah, I think it's looking more like Nelsie's opportunity. But it could still be done. It could still be done.
Still think he'll get past, but I'm not sure about building enough time on time penalty.
Because I think all he
Definitely should not
needs
risk.
is... Yeah. Oh,
Does
but
he-
he just
oh.
got more! Oh, no! So now,
Nelsie Baby,
I think
I don't know what it
F1...
is now.
Hey, I'm throwing my cards. I don't know. Just messed me all up. I don't know. We're just gonna roll with it to the
I
end.
think the safe bet is to get past him and try to get a 2 seconds on him.
Yep.
And I think that would definitely secure a win for him. All right, he's going to take a look on the outside on the peak, dives it in hard, takes a look, he gets it early.
Nelsie gives him the room. Respect for that one. And Nelsie is now in P2. F1 Racer is the net leader. But I don't know about the penalties.
He's in the slipstream right now. Let's see what he can do.
Does he go down the inside? No, he holds it. So F1 does have the lead at the moment. But with penalties, I'm not too sure. But, you know, he's got 2 laps, F1 Racer, on the softest tire. I think he'll be able to pull 2 seconds. But I think regardless, I think he's got the win. If no more penalties.
F1 Racer, just if he doesn't make any mistakes like time penalties with, I think he might get this win. But it's a great run by Nelsie. I mean, that's very good racing. He was very consistent, kept his nose clean. They were just on different strategies, and the shoe could have been on the other foot for both drivers.
Yeah, really good races by not only them, the
Nelsie
top
Baby
2.
still maintaining with them.
Oh, yeah.
He has some DRS to help him out.
He's got some more battery, too, if I believe. Let me see. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. What button is it? Oh, there we go. I don't do this quite often, as everyone can see. But he's got a little bit battery. He's got the DRS. F1 Racer, he's all out of battery. He's defending a little bit. You can see the lights blinking at the end of the Mercedes there.
Just all you have to do is just maintain. Don't let him get away. I think he might be able to maintain with them. Definitely saves the ERS. And he hasn't broken away.
Still so close. Coming close to 1 lap to go.
F1 Racer's tires are starting to fall off there on that those softs. That's the compelling opposite about these strategies. Either you use the fast stint, or you know, with the soft tires, or you go the long haul with the hard tires and see who lasts. You're both kind of skating on ice there a little bit.
Yep.
Nelsie Baby, final lap. He's within the DRS range. F1 Racer is not getting away with this just quite yet. Nelsie Baby's still within DRS range and maintain with as much as possible. We won't know until they cross the line.
Yeah, but even though you don't know the penalties, but I always like to cross the line first, just so if any
Oh yeah.
penalties get removed or anything, something like that, at least you're ahead. That's always what you want.
Right.
Um,
Oh,
as
he's
he
getting a
comes
massive
down.
run here. He might take a look. F1 racer defense. He's gonna dive. Gonna try to do the undercut.
Yeah, it's a good switchback opportunity. The Haas on traction.
You still have a little ERS in the tank. It's
Oh
gonna burn
yeah.
everything now.
Watch out, you gotta be careful here though. You don't want to throw it all away.
It's gonna undercut a little bit. Come down. Nope.
Side
It's
by
gonna park the
side.
bus. F1 racer's gonna park the bus on the inside.
Yep, rightfully so. The Mercedes has it. A few more corners.
He's running wide a little bit, but these guys are still fighting for it. No matter what the time penalties, they're gonna fight it till the end.
All right, a few last corners.
Nelson Baby runs a little wide there, takes a risk.
All right, to the line for the French Grand Prix for Silver Class. Who gets it? F1 racer across the line. Nelsie, F1 racer gets the win.
F1 racer, just barely. I think the points cancel each other out, and I think it really just came down to the win. I may be wrong, but
Yeah, but
those are
regardless,
very good
F1
battle.
racer was ahead on track as well, so that's always good to see that the win goes to the person who actually crosses the line. It's not some penalty
Good.
that deserves it. So that's pretty good by F1 racer. Really nice. Really good race, but really good for Nelsie. A good recovery drive from Blin, but this is second win for F1 racer. He got his first one at Singapore. He's got another one today as well. So I believe he's got the pole as well. So he also had the pole back in his other win as well. So a pretty strong race by F1 racer, as he calculated that to perfection as the Mercedes driver gets the win, and he gains a little bit more on the guys ahead, as the Renaults did not have a good day. D-Swish did not appear, and Blin, F1 racer did beat Blin as well by a little bit, as he finished third. So we got a little bit of everything in this one.
We did. It's very good. You say the driver of the day is.
Driver of the day. I'd have to put it. I'd have to give it to F1 racer. He got the pole. He had a little bit of a hiccup in the race due to the strategy. I thought that hurted him, but he calculated it perfectly and he was able to get the win. Stay out of trouble, make his moves when it needed to happen, and ultimately get those 25, I think 26 points. I think he had the fastest lap as well. Let's see right now. As he might have gotten 26, so the full maximum, I believe. So I'd have to give my driver of the day to F1 Racer.
I'm about to give it to Blend. He came from P16, current points leader, all the way up to a podium. We rarely see that, even in real F1. So it's great to see a driver pull that off today. A lot of penalties out today, but that's okay. I think overall it was still a pretty good race. And it was nice to see the top three different teams come out with the win.
Also, a pretty good race by KGB. We saw some good pace out of him, some good moves, and a pretty good finish as well. I think P5.
They got us a Rex too.
We had some good wrecks as well, so it was a little bit of everything. But let's see if we maybe get some interviews potentially. Let's see if we get you one. Let's see Nelsie. Let me see if I invite some people real quick. Let me see. We'll see if we get the podium guys. Okay. Alright, so I invited the three. Let's see. Let me back out of this. Let me be professional about this stream here. Let's go to Let me see if. So I invited the top 3, the podium guys. Let's see if they join up. Alright, we got Blinn. Let's see if we get the others. We got Nelsie. Let's see if F1 comes in. Oh, nice. We got everybody. Awesome. First thing before we start the interviews, does everyone have their audio sharing settings on for the stream?
Yep. Pretty sure. I think so.
Whoever said I think so, yours is going through. Who said I think so?
That would be me, Nelsie Davey.
And who's... You said you have no idea? Wait.
Yeah, I'm here as Blinn.
Alright. Is that F1 Racer with Alright, so you go to your settings on PlayStation. And then you go to sharing and broadcast, so you scroll down a little bit. And then you go to audio. And then I think there's 3 boxes, and you click them all with a check. Just let me know when you get that done. You did it. Just let me know when you get that done. Here, say one more thing. So go to your party. Sorry for everyone, I just want to make sure it goes through. Go to your party, like where we are. And then I think there's a place, is there a setting in there, audio sharing or something like that? Yeah, party settings and then audio, I think. Yeah, and put that allow as well. Yep. Yep. So I'll be on. Alright, let's try that one more time. Just say something.
Did it go through?
Good. Alright, so now we can start the podium interviews. So, F1 Racer, congratulations. You got your 2nd win of the season. You got the pole as well. I think you got the fastest lap, so you're walking away from France with 26 points and a pole. You kind of sweeped it. It was a clean sweep. You got the pole, you got the fast lap, and you got the win. So, walk us through today's race.
Actually, I had no idea I was going to even be able to compete for pole. Kind of a surprise. And then start of the race, just felt like tires were cold, no grip. Then once the safety car came out, switched to the mediums, and then come lap 20, I had a decision to make whether to pit for softs or continue with the mediums. And tire wear wasn't bad, but I decided to pit, and then we had an exciting last 7 laps.
Awesome. Did you did that penalty that you got in the pit stop, was that like alarming to you that maybe you would have lost the race because of that penalty in the speeding in the pits? Or did you just keep going by and thinking I still couldn't have a shot at it?
I just wanted to get in front and see what would happen.
Awesome. Any questions, Dre, for F1 Racer?
No, just it's great to see you and Elsie at the end battling pretty hard. I thought that was pretty interesting between the dynamics of different strategies. So I thought you did a pretty good race.
Appreciate it.
I guess I'll move on to P2. Nelsie. Oh, so
Yep.
close for that first win.
Yep.
I guess what is there anything you could have done differently? I feel like you got screwed a little bit with the safety car that kind of messed you up. Is there anything else you could have done to maybe secure the win today?
I think I probably took the mediums a bit longer than I did, and probably done the same strat the F1 racer did. But I was just excited at the moment. I could have got P1, so I just pitted, so I didn't have any risk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And what would be like the mood going forward? I mean, you had a really good race today. You're gonna try to keep this up and maybe compete for the win next week out in Austria.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep practicing for Austria. Hopefully get a P1. Hopefully, but if not, just hope to score some really good points for Haas.
Awesome. Yeah, you know what to say. Consistency is key, and eventually the win will come. So don't worry. um, but you got to keep practicing because we got to beat this guy in the championship, Blin, who
Yeah.
just secured a P3 today. Dre put you as the driver of the day for a really good recovery drive. So what happened in qualifying? Why didn't you qualify up there?
So I actually came out on my first flying lap on medium tires, and I was gonna try and do the same sort of strategy that F1 Racer did today. But as I was coming out, there was somebody slowing down for their cooldown lap after I think it was turn 2. And I just ran completely straight into the back of him. I braked in the last second, but I wasn't expecting him to slow down, and I wasn't sure if he was on a fast lap or whatever. So, yeah, that cost me my qualifying, so I ended up starting from 16th.
But any questions, Dre?
I got one for Glenn. What was like trying to get through the field with all those safety cars and drivers all in the way crashing?
Yeah, so I actually got really lucky off the start as well. There was a couple of incidents in front of me, and I managed to sort of slot in between everybody. I jumped from, I think, 16th to like 9th. And then from there on, there was another incident. And then, as you said, the safety car pretty much made everybody pit. So I jumped to like 3rd or 2nd place. And from there, it was just a matter of strategy. Mine wasn't really great for today. It did get me a podium in the end, but I think I could have pulled out those mediums for a couple more laps and then possibly go on the softs as well. But yeah, I actually got really unfortunate under one of the safety cars. I think it was the first one. It slowed down and everybody went around it, and there was an incident, so I had to cut the corner. I got a 5-second penalty for that, and then I got another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. So I'm really happy for getting 3rd after all of those penalties and not qualifying.
Yeah, it was a little crazy of a race, but good recovery drive, and I guess not too didn't really hurt too bad for the championship reason. So you're still looking good there, and on to next week is the Austrian Grand Prix for silver class. But for everyone, tune in tomorrow and Thursday for the golden and platinum class races for their French Grand Prix. And thanks for all the support. Leave a like before you leave it, and consider subscribing if you appreciated the content, I guess, for today. All the information that is, like I said, is down below, and if you want to sign up, the link is there, and everything is good. And next week's Austria, as well as the TCR Grand Prix for the Platinum class. And other than that, thank you to Blin, Nelsie, and congratulations to F1 Racer and the podium. And thank you, Dre, for commentating alongside me. And
No worries.
with that, I'll see you all for the golden class tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.